Hey friends, so I am here at D23 for a private screening of Aliens Romulus. We are one of the first people who actually get to watch this. I'm heading into the theaters. It's about to start in a few minutes, and honestly, there's so many fun surprises that are about to happen, including a couple of face huggers. It's wild. Just watch the clips.
It's real. Oh, it's so rubbery and slimy. Like that's not.
I have just got out of Alien Romulus. My dress was absolutely soaked from the 4DX experience. But honestly, there's so much that I have to talk about. There's so much that if you are an Aliens fan, you're going to enjoy. I need to personally dissect, rewatch some films because I know that there was a lot that I missed. That being said, let's get back into the studio so we can fully digest everything that we just saw. I'm ready to get into some spoilers and some non-spoilers depending on when this gets posted. Let's get it.
No, okay? I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know that Aliens was perverted. Okay, I was an innocent looking at the marketing. Okay, how did I not know? I didn't know. I didn't know. And like, can I get the marketing guy on the phone? Not only like, can I just get, this is a face hugger, right? This is one of the props that they gave us after watching Alien Romulus. And I didn't know. These are fingers. These are fingers. Like, those are nails. I didn't know. Let's talk about Alien Romulus. All right, let's get this review. And first reactions. You guys saw the clips. I was there. I was in it. I actually got made it into one of the promos that are now on television and all over Instagram. I was there. I was in the thick of it with my friends. And you know, I'm a girl's girl, okay? I get my nails done. I get, I do the makeup stuff, and I'm a Disney princess. My name is Jasmine, for gosh sakes. I love girlish things. But I will pick up a commando, and I'll be in the trenches with Ripley and Rain. I'll shoot a xenomorph or two. I will die. Let me be very frank. The xenomorphs I would think that I'm tough. I would be like that kid. I would think that I'm tough, but I would get eaten. Man, I would get eaten, and it would be so quick. I wish I would. I'm gonna hope that I'm a survivor, but I don't think I would be. God, I don't think I would be. I would probably find somewhere to hide. And anyway, let's get into this review. This movie was disturbing. It was overwhelming. It was gory. It was juicy. It was slimy, it was slobbery, it was any kind of like moist and drippy kind of descriptive word that I could use. I had the opportunity, like I said in my prior video, to see it in 4DX, which in and of itself is an experience. I feel like I had done a 4DX before, but maybe it wasn't a movie like this. I feel like a movie like Aliens and a movie like Twisters has to be seen in 4DX. It was a roller coaster ride. But the great thing about 4DX is it's not just the seat that moves. There's water splashing in your face, which, again, I refer back to all of those slimy, wet, moist, descriptive words. So we were drenched by the end of this film. But they also had moments where it was getting very intense and there'd be flashing lights. So flashing light warning for those who are going to 4DX. There was also moments where they would use fog. So just watching this, we were the very first audience to see this film. We want to thank Disney. I want to thank D23. I want to thank 21st Century Fox. I want to thank Regal. All of these things put together, they brought us to this very first screening, and it was madness. There were face huggers crawling on the floor. We had guests sitting in seats that already had face huggers. We had interactive. It was just so engrossed. It was the host came out and had, one of them popping out of his chest. So just immediately, it seems like there's a lot of work that goes into this film that's going to make it big, and that was kind of what they set us up for. They set us up for a movie that was already going to be very cinematic. This feels like a movie you absolutely need to see at least once in theaters. There's a lot of little elements. There's a lot of just seeing the xenomorphs in all of its glory and all the drool and all of the teeth and just this movie was scary. I think that's just kind of the overall review. And it's not scary just because I'm not someone who does jump scares or the normal kind of paranormal fear. That's not really something that I do. I have no sense of self-preservation, so that fear doesn't really work well with me. But the fear of what if is really something that gets me. And this movie did something really well towards the end that I cannot spoil because that truly makes this movie. It does something in the end that had me thinking, oh my God, what if that was possible? What if there was a way for that to actually come to fruition? And is this possible? You know, they did something that apparently had been talked about for a while, but there's something towards the end of this movie that brings it all together. I mean, you've got these rambunctious kids that are just honestly trying to find a better life. It's one of those stories. It's a bunch of kids trying to get out of the boons, out of the sticks, out of this horrid, you know, it's a hard knock life for us. They decide to steal a ship, and lo and behold, here is the movie. And that's kind of where we get to. We see these kids really just trying to find a better life, and it's unfortunate that in their pursuit of happiness, they end up finding the xenomorphs, but you know, how else are the xenomorphs going to be found? If you're a lover of the old Alien films, I think you're going to find a lot of joy in this film. They do a great job of tributing these old films and throwing in a lot of fun tidbits for the fans, a lot of really shocking things that happen, that if you are a fan of the older films, you will find joy in this movie. And honestly, throughout this film, there are so many nods to rooms and scenes and moments, shot for shot retakes of moments that happened in prior films, iconic moments in the Aliens 1, 2, and 3. If you know, you know. And I think that that's really gonna impress, and honestly, it's going to bring a lot of joy to this movie that I feel like audiences are going to not only enjoy, but be able to participate in. When I was giving my review, there was a bunch of camera crews right outside. When I was giving my review, I said in the moment that Alien Romulus is for 21st Century Fox what Deadpool and Wolverine is for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The way that it kind of ties all the stories together while also being able to bring in a new universe in order to tie new stories together, that is what this movie does. It not only will tie all of those loose ends and those loose strings, but it also gives you an idea of what we get to look forward to for the future. You know, I am someone who watched the movies, I played the games. This builds an immersive world, but I guess my only negative takes on this film is that when I was initially watching it, because I can't really talk about the film yet. This is the non-spoiler review. I'll do a spoiler review later on, and I can talk about all those little deep dive moments and all of those little intercut moments that you might have missed. But for now, this is kind of all that I can talk about. The negative points, the only negative points about this film that I feel like I can talk about is in the beginning, for me, it was a little slow. And I do think that the reason why it was slow for me is because I already know what's going to happen. I don't want to see a bunch of kids going up to space and having, you know, some trouble with their flight patterns and who's going to go in, who isn't going to. Like, that doesn't interest me. I know that that's all the story building, and you kind of need that to process the story. But I know what I want. I know that when it gets too hot, the things are going to start, you know, birthing, and then the face huggers on the face. Like, I want to see the xenomorph. So the entire first half of the film, I very much just wanted to see the xenomorphs at play. I wanted us to get to that point. I wanted them to start eating children. Like, I wanted that moment to start happening, but I think that's just because I already know. We're how many movies deep, we're how many games deep, we're how many books deep of the Alien franchise at this point. So in this film, it started off slow for me, but once it starts building and they start using not only gravity, but space, they're using a lot of elements in this film that you don't often get to see played with, and that is gravity. It is the use of the xenomorph's blood. Like, they get to play in a lot of elements that I don't think the other films really took as far as they could have. Now, the last thing I want to talk about that Alien Romulus does really well is they continue the conversation about AI and what artificial intelligence means on a human level. And what I mean by that is Rain considers Andy, who is a synthetic, to be her brother, and we see that dynamic play out really well. And there's a lot of tete-a-tete back and forth when Andy, and I'm not going to spoil it, but as Andy begins to develop further, his character kind of builds in this movie. And it's really interesting because at certain points, you know, you forget that Andy is a synthetic, but it really depends on how you feel about artificial intelligence and where is that line. And I think that this movie did that really, really well. And it really helps when the lead actress, Rain, really puts that emotional stake on Andy. And Andy is her brother, and we really see her play into that role. And the line kind of separates on what we believe AI to be. And I think that that conversation of artificial intelligence and what is the divide between, you know, human versus artificial intelligence, this movie plays that really well, and you begin to lose that line. When I do my spoiler video, I will address this a little bit deeper because there's a lot on Andy's character in this film, and especially given other spoilers in this film, just playing off of those two elements, this conversation I think is going to be what the entire movie will be about. It is that discussion. Until then, honestly, guys, those are my first initial thoughts. The cast did really well. I think that they played together amazingly. I think that this is going to be one of the bigger blockbuster films. I think after Deadpool Wolverine, this is going to be the next big blockbuster film that comes out of movies. And I think it really sets us up nice for the Halloween season. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Alien film? Or what is your favorite Alien game? And let me know what you're most anticipating in the upcoming Alien Romulus film. Until then, guys, please like, subscribe, follow. Let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you for the next one. Goodbye.